Good evening, listeners. Welcome to another exciting episode of Loss of Lieutenant. I am your host, Josh, and I'm joined by fellow hosts Tristan and Jordan.
Hi, it's me again.
Hey, fellow hosts, have we recorded one together yet, boys?
The N4 farewell?
Not us three exclusively, I believe.
No.
Not us three exclusively, no.
Well, glad to be finally part of the trio and join the dynamic duo on one of their very non-rambly but also quite fun
That's what we're known for.
episodes. Known for. Today is episode 123, and we are talking about N5's Lost Factions. What is dead may never die. Where we just discuss, pay a little homage to the sectorials that are unfortunately we are unfortunately parting ways with in N5. So
Unfortunately,
I am a player, a prolific player of one of them, and an almost player of another, and I am very excited to have a chat about these ones, and we'll give you some suggestions about what to play instead if you are a player of these dying factions. I'm excited. How are we, boys?
We're very well.
yeah,
Good.
not too bad. Surviving.
Excellent.
Yes. And while I have everyone's attention at the very beginning of the episode, I would love if whoever's listening to this, if you have something to say to us, hop on the Discord. The link's nice and fresh and not broken. Hit us up in the episode discussion section and just tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, bring up the Discord because someone put a broken link in there last episode, Tristan.
I copy-pasted the same that I've done the past 5 other times I've uploaded. Not my fault.
Sounds like excuses to me. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah.
While we do still have your attention, if you are at all interested in coming and listening to us record these episodes live, giving you an opportunity to ask us questions while we record and interject your thoughts and opinions into the episode, where we will randomly say things like, well, Trent has said something about Pano being good, he is an idiot. You can, in fact, become a patron over at patreon.com/lossoflieutenant, becoming one of our lovely cocks, our chain of command, those near and dear to our heart.
Excellent stuff, guys. Now, before we get down to business, we have our lovely quarterly challenge. Who wants to run us through this?
Oh, I will. I think it was my idea, so I'll jump on that grenade. We've got a kind of a joint challenge where halfway through this quarter we have the introduction. The I'm sure that no one's heard about it. The change in edition for Corvus Belli's Infinity, the game that none of us really play. We are changing from N4 to N5. So send us early on, before November 18, your N5 wish lists and how you would improve the game. What would you change? If you need some ideas, have a listen to these guys chat about what their N5 wish list. Would you change guided, martial arts, fire teams? People might know my thoughts on these. Get rid of a natural born warrior. New skills, new weapons, new profiles, always fun. And then after November 18, running into the new year, we want to hear your N5 first impressions, battle reports of your first games, battle report after a few games. And show us, for you terrain builders out there or hobbyists, show us your sand traps.
What?
That sounded foul. That sounded foul, and I apologize for that.
Show us your hexagons, kids.
Whoever shows us a sand trap instantly wins.
Oh, how have you modified the new sand trap terrain? How creatively have you painted your Kestrel Colonial Force to look like Colonel Sanders? Please show us all of these things and send your submissions to lossoflieutenant@gmail.com. and the winner of each, the N5 wishlist and the N5 first impressions, will receive a small box of their choice, and which will be sent to you by yours truly.
Honestly, the thing I'm most looking forward to about these stories is, so when we got the app finally working, because that's what I'm looking forward to, is the just dumpster fire that is going to be that app on day one. Because, like, as Bostria said, it's like, it's going up, hell or high water. If that app isn't on fire, I'm genuinely going to be disappointed, because, like, it's just going to be, like, awesome.
Wouldn't it be amazing, right? There's rumors they're releasing PDFs along with the army release for discontinued armies that aren't ICS compatible. The first week of N5 is just people playing with PDF armies, like fucking 40k 5th edition or something silly.
You just rock up to an event. It's just your fucking binder. It's like, here's my binder of fucking faction.
Oh my god, we're just having 40k codices instead of printed out.
I'm sorry, he has this weapon. Let me just go to page 20 that does this. Oh, the damage value is this. How many bursts is it?
What's a Thunderbolt again? How many d6 do I roll?
All right, guys, we're going to run through the events because we have a lot of them now. So, November 16th, Last Contact N4 in Melbourne. On the very same day, we have Operation Thunderchild in Sydney and Operation Sunset in Queensland. They are running conjointly with the same missions, unmasking countermeasures and armory. Whoever wins it the bestest becomes East Coast Champion of Australia. Love it.
Come on, WA and South Australia and NT. Pick up your game, put a tournament on November 16.
Do it.
Even if it's just 3 mates in a garage, you'll still be in the running.
You're still in the running.
For bestest of Australia.
Bestest of Australia. Melbourne sold out.
The only one that matters.
Melbourne sold out, so if you want to contribute, you have to drive to Queensland or Sydney. One of our latest events coming December 14th at the Gaming Arena, we have the Risky Rollers Annual 2024. This is a collaborative event with a lot of GW games, a lot of card games, a couple of other different historical and war games. We have been invited to join. Tickets are $50. Part of your ticket price will be donated to the Smith family. There is also a catered lunch included in that price. And I will be running the Infinity part of it. The space is limited, so if you want to get your ticket and beat out all the 40k players trying to get all the spots, get in now. And finally for this page, we have CanCon 2025, the Infinity Australia Nationals. January 25th and 26th, Epic Park in Canberra. Typical stuff, we don't know what's happening yet till N5 drops, and you can buy the tickets now.
Limited, like not super limited, but like somewhat limited spots as well. I think they're a cap of 50 or 60 this time around, and I think we went over that last year too.
50. I think there were
slightly under 50. I think
there was a cap of 32. No. There were 40 There were 40 tickets sold, and there were 50 registrations on OTN on day one, which is why
I think it was like 55. I think it was like wet.
Yeah, we had to put tables together because there were 6 extra players than they thought would happen.
Damn, I'm proud of myself then now. I thought there was like 40.
Yeah.
All right. We have received a lovely email from, I believe his name is Harold, from Massachusetts in Belmont. He didn't give a title. He didn't give a title, so I called it the Super Beginner Friendly Tournament at the Squabbling Goblin in Belmont, Sunday, December 8th. 3 rounds of 300 points with 2 lists, and they are playing modified resilience operations. I do not know what modifications there are, but if you live around Belmont in Massachusetts, go nuts. And finally, we have in Darwin a N5 Startup Day being run by Sam Benson on the 24th of November at 10:30 a.m. at Stone Monkey. 200-point games, so a little bit smaller games. That's just to get the hang of the rules, I'm assuming.
Excellent. That's what we want to see. More like small events played with different points caps. No one's going to be right up there with the rules to start playing with 300, 400 points. So chuck your 200-point lists together, especially if you're trying out some of the new factions and some of the new units, because that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Infinity.
And
or any of this stuff.
if you really don't like your friends, pay 150 points and put Andromeda on the table.
Hey. I mean, it's Infinity. Are any of us ever actually up to date on what any of the rules are?
No. Remember, guys,
Yes.
we're probably going to have a bunch of influx of new players, so running smaller tournaments for people who don't potentially own that many models might appeal to them massively. All right.
Yeah. I think right now in Geelong, we've got like 3 or 4 people who have messaged in the Discord to Josh and I asking about like what's sort of going on Infinity wise, and you're in that really awkward spot of like, look, I really want you to play Infinity, and we can like lend models and stuff, but it's really hard to tell you to go buy stuff when we don't know what's actually going to stick around.
Yep. Got to give them a rain check till 3 weeks from now.
Unless they really, really like Kestrel or they really, really like Shinden Butai. Like, I don't know, man. Fucking Corvus Belly decided to just like, what if we just like try and entrap new players by giving them new JSA?
But better.
But better.
Yeah, but better. I mean,
So-
it's not hard to be better than old JSA.
Hey, what's that topic? What is dead may never die. Thank you, Game of Thrones, for giving us such a fantastic line.
Oh, poor Game of Thrones.
Having a chat about the disappearing factions in Infinity N5. And what are they, Tristan?
Well, first up, we have your very favourite faction, Caledonian Highlander Army. We need some bagpipes. I might put a little bagpipe in the background.
Please put
Please do.
Scotland the Brave over the top of me talking about Caledonian Highlander.
Just a gif of William Wallace.
With the loss of Caledonia, we've got 7 missing units from the Ariadna generic. I think they're calling them now generic Ariadna lists. Volunteers. Isabel McGregor. Highlander Greys. Caledonian Mormares. Highlander Rifle Galwegians. Wolver Grenadiers and Cameronians. Oh, so
actually
sad.
like an impressive number of like super unique profiles that we're actually losing here.
It's like unique
this is
and
the most
great profiles, like volunteers, a 6-point light shotgun chain rifles, which in N4 were fucking impressive, and having that combination in N5 might be pretty good too. So
Isabel being like your only sort of info war piece as well, like
especially in vanilla as well. She was the only real hacker apart from the war driver, but
yeah,
6th Sense hackers being very oppressive.
She is the saving grace for like countermeasures and highly classified in vanilla. Now you have to take a war driver.
Yeah. Well, she's such a crazy good classified clearing machine.
Doesn't she have like decharges as well?
She's decharged. She's a character. She's a hacker. She has a T2 rifle, assault pistol, and EM mines as well. Like she's actually crazy good.
Pretty linkable as well, right?
Literally the most sought after DIFO's box. Which is
pretty like linkable too, right? I'm trying to remember.
In Caledonia,
she counted as a volunteer. So she was a wild card, counts as volunteer. So you'll see some I've got a couple of lists later on. You'll see a Isabel McGregor link. I think I put in there. Wolver Grenadiers probably no great loss, but we're going to really thoroughly miss Greys and Mormares and Galwegian.
Oh, losing Greys, they're just so like for as good, like the cap on how good something that's like a heavy infantry that isn't a true 2 wounds can be. They were like pushing that fucking cap. Like the HMG, the fucking smoke grenades, like the ridiculously cheap, easily linkable
BS13 HMG.
Yeah.
With smoke grenades as well was really
just playing like 3 Greys, like they're so cheap.
They're sub 30 points, aren't they?
28 points for the HMG.
Yeah, that's really good for a BS13 HMG in Ariadne.
Yeah. So it was like 20, 25, and 28 point profiles. The 20-point profile was a light shotgun plus 1 burst. 25 was a T2 rifle, and the 28 was the HMG.
And your baby, the Mormare, the biggest gun in the game.
The fuck you gun.
Fuck you.
You know, I am very much going to miss a damage 17 AP HMG. I'm very much going to miss a damage 15 AP T2 rifle.
The APT2 rifle was the scarier profile.
So good. I've killed at least one Yotum with an APT2 with a damage 15 APT2 rifle. So
Poor
very.
Stefan. His Yodam has died to the most ridiculous shit.
We did roll 2 2s against.
Course he did.
I crit with it, and he rolled up 2 2s, and the Yoda went down in one roll.
Fucking course it did.
So sad. Anyway, that's what we're and Cameroonians, of course. I assume that McMurrow is staying around, but he loses his home sectorial.
Not in Ariadne.
He might still be in Assassins.
Yes, he's probably still in Deshat and Assassins and Corregidor, potentially.
Yeah, those are his 3 other sectorals.
But yeah, kind of sad to. I think Vanilla Ariadne is actually losing quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Even just most of its options, but it's the cheaper options. Like the Mormay is cheaper than a Cosmosoldat, and the Cameronians are cheaper than Dog Warriors, and
There's another 25-point grey profile I'm forgetting, which is a T2 boarding shotgun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, Vanilla's losing a lot. And I've got some, fond memories of Caledonia and some lists that are coming up. If you guys want to say goodbye to them over the next 20 days.
I feel like your only fully painted army as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cheapish face, everyone.
These are my these are I've written a couple of lists up here. This one is a slightly more competitive one that I called Lock Up Your Bonnies. Yes, there's some there's a pun in there. Group 1 was 5 regular orders and 3 irregular orders. Thankfully, Wallace was in this list. Of a Caledonian Moormare, a Highlander Grey T2 boarding shotgun, Isabel McGregor, that's a little Harris team there. Den McConnelly, because of course, a Galwegian, a Cameronian, McMurrow, and Wallace. There's and group 2 is 6 and 1, 6 regular, 1 irregular, 2 SAS forward observers, Ushi McNeil, the specialist operative version, another Harry/core team of a Highlander Grey, a volunteer, and a volunteer paramedic. Thank you, Rob Cantrell, for developing that one. And a War Core with a 360 visor. I went 4 and 1 with this list at Arkfinity earlier on this year. The Caledonian Moormare is a scary, scary, scary gun. If you can hit with it. Once you hit with it, though, anything dies. Everything dies. Den McConnelly, McMurrow, Cameronian, and Wallace are excellent users of Wallace's inspiring leadership coordinated order, and having some premier irregulars in there as well, getting turned into regular troopers, meant that this list was just kept pushing.
Yeah, going coordinated order, McMurrow, Cameronian, Highlander, and fucking Denmark run. It's like, okay, cool.
Well, you have to include Wallace, but yeah.
Sorry, Wallace, yeah. Someone's gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. 4 smokes being thrown up the table. 2 wolves jumping at you and chain rifling things. They're like, fantastic.
That is a to whom it may concern fire team level of fuck you.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, like super fun list. I really enjoyed playing it, and it's could be replicated in Cosmo, but I think he'll lose a lot out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not easily though, and that's the big thing. Like you're able to build some pretty unique looking Caledonia lists in N4 after people sort of got over not being able to play 30 orders. Like this is like cool and like unique. Like Denma added a fair bit to the faction as well as just another good threat. Wallace has always been like supremely good. Like Uxia is fucking obnoxious. Like those Highlander Grey teams are just so efficient. And even like the Mormare team, it's not like too many points. It's a few points. It's not too many though.
No, it's really not. But
It'd
like
be-
a Highlander Grey Harris costing 44 points
Yeah.
is nuts.
Mm.
And you get BS13 smoke along with that. God,
Yeah,
that grey profile is disgusting.
you can't quite do that in the
Oh, it's so cheap.
in Cosmo, but you can pretty close to it.
This is
Good.
like super emblematic of N4 like DZs where it's like, oh, everything has a light shotgun. Good luck. It's like,
Yeah.
this is the kind of shit like why I'm glad the shotgun changes are happening.
Yeah, decharges everywhere in it. This was
Yeah.
a really great list for
Okay, I think you're missing is a visor, basically, right?
yeah, there's only one visor in Caledonia, which is
Yeah.
Usha McNeil's MSV1 profile, which is not as good because you don't have an assault pistol +1 burst.
No, no, sir.
So very much Usha McNeil. I've played both, and I prefer the specialist operative.
I think you need the specials because she starts so far up the table.
Yeah. Having the decharges as well makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
The MSV1 doesn't have the decharges. So yeah, no, this is a really fun list, and I've played it. You could probably replicate it kind of slightly in Cosmo, but it's definitely one of those unique ones that's going to die. And this next one is a little bit of a meme. I've called it
A
the
little
Kilty.
bit of a meme.
Little bit of a meme. I've called it the Kilty Pleasures calendar shoot. The reason I've called it that is because you hand your opponent a courtesy list with Wallace and a Warcore.
That is
The
amazing.
everything
That is
else
very
in here,
clever.
everything else in here starts as a camo marker, 2 Cataran T2 snipers, a Scots Guard missile launcher, a Scots Guard AP Spitfire, 3 SAS forward observers, Usha McNeil, and group 2 is 5 volunteer camouflage infiltration. Perfect for surrounding your HVT if someone starts with a Greif operator, right alongside it. It's like, oh man, I've played this list a couple of times. I've had fun with it every time. It's just a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun.
I don't actually think this is a list you could easily replicate in any other faction. And
Cosmo, you can. Cosmo
get to 15 orders.
Cosmo has a much better one.
Does it?
Yeah, it's because their infiltrating rockets have light shotguns on
it's
them.
basically the same, but volunteers instead of rockets.
With rockets instead of volunteers.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You can do it in vanilla as well pretty easily.
Yeah.
Well, you could do it in vanilla very
The reason you can do it so well in Cosmo is you still gain Wallace LT.
Yeah.
You've pretty much got the entirety of the first group. The only thing that changes is the volunteers.
So the rocket infiltrators have rifle light shotgun for an extra point.
Shit.
Which makes them just way better.
Yep.
Yeah,
At least in N5, it makes them way better.
Rifle light shotgun. What a combo.
Yeah. For 10 points, you can mix and match. For 10 points, they have the submachine gun grenades decharges, which very good profiles. So, you can basically run this list in Cosmo.
Yep. So if you like the sound of this list, just remake it in Cosmo.
Yeah. SAS AVA3 SAS in Cosmo as well. So, you could definitely run this list in Cosmo.
Any fun stories with this one?
Not really. I've played it a couple of times. I did originally have I put 5 volunteers with grenade launchers in this one,
Mm.
infiltrating up the table, and the reason was because you can coordinate spec fire with Wallace and
Just doing your best Drew's impersonation.
That's
and
amazing.
three volunteer grenade launchers, and because they start halfway up the table, you can
You're in good range already.
you're in zero ranges, so you can
You're doing it on
you can roll that fours.
Or fours.
Yeah, they're BS 10.
So stupid.
They're so bad. They're so bad. But
Josh, please. There are
it's
people
a-
who love and care about you. Don't do this to yourself.
yeah, I roll 3 fours and one 7 on the smoke grenade from Wallace. No, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
The other good thing for anyone who owns an entire Caledonia army is the models are super proxyable. I myself have bought Galwegians for Varangians because Varangians didn't have any models, and I was like, these guys look pretty cool.
I was about to say, didn't Varangians have like one very hard to get sculpt until like super recently?
Yeah.
Yes,
They
but
only
for
had
the first
one.
2.5 years that O12 was out, they didn't have a model.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
It's like digging
yeah.
Beast Hunters, yeah.
Oh,
Considering
were they a Defiance thing or something? Or
no, I don't know what the Varangians originally came in.
The
were they
Varangians
just
came out
literally-
with O12, but they never got a model until the exclusive, I think.
Oh, they straight up just existed.
Yeah,
on
they
the-
straight up.
There's a Varangian model for sure.
Yeah, now there is now.
No, there's 2.
Yeah. It came out halfway through N4, and O12 came out halfway through N3. Well, towards the end of N3. There was a solid chunk of years where Varangians did not have a model. But that's okay. I had Galwegians.
You can hear us being quiet right now because Josh and I think, are both Googling Varangian guard to see.
I'm
100% on humans. I am 100% on human sphere right now.
I believe there's 3
Yeah, I was
models
about to
now.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. So there's the chick with the
axe,
hammer, there's the dude
hammer,
with the axe,
and then
and the guy with
dude
the
on a
icicle.
rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not even 4. I used to run 4 Varangians. All these years later, there's not even 4 models.
They have some dope fucking renders too.
They do.
Man, why can't Drakios look like these renders?
Now, Jordan.
Looks so good.
Oh god. No. Good. Hey,
And
they?
I've added. If you want to play Caledonia moving forward, or you want to use your Caledonia Caledonia sculpts, there's always the I think they're probably releasing the PDFs of the. This is a rumor. I think it was substantiated by something from that Bostria said. They are releasing the out of print or the non-playable sectorials separately from Army in a PDF with a full suite of N5 rules. So hopefully, or so I should say, unsupported armies. So hopefully, you'll be able to play Caledonia moving forward with N5. If not, it'd be pretty easy to translate them across. But if you want to play them in ITS, use your models for something else. You could just play Cosmo. You still get Wallace as your LT. You still get SAS. Cosmo Soldats and Volcalax are basically just better Mormares.
Like, as sad as it is to just lose this many factions, it is just like bloat is very bad for war games in general.
It
And
is.
Infinity N4 suffered from pretty much almost like a critical level of like bloat in terms of number of factions.
43, 44 factions is too much.
Number of factions, number of profiles.
Yeah. Ermendinas are basically just cracked Galwegians. Bears are just cracked Cameroonians. Climbing, I think Super Jump is better than Climbing Plus, but it's because I'm a base.
For Impetuous troops it is.
Yeah. So yeah, you could just play Cosmo. If you want to.
There you go.
All right. Oh,
you
man.
missed Caledonia.
MRRF.
For the 3 people that play this faction, this is for you.
We're going to do such a bad job of like saying nice things about
I
the
will
French.
actually, I will say, in the slow grow we had this year, there was one person, I forget their name, that played French, completely new player, just loved the models, and I was like, good for you, buddy. Got absolutely fucking smashed.
It's I think it was Dylan. He's only come out for the slow grows. The one before the last one he played, Merovingia. The one before that he played US. But it really only comes out for the slow grows. I've known him for a while through LARP, which is pretty fun. Yeah. And there's Hendrik as well, who's a huge MRF player in Melbourne here, and who has stomped me a few times with these guys. Very sad that we're losing Metros, Zouaves, and Chasseurs.
I mean, Metro is just one of those profiles where, like, when someone starts telling a story about French, 7 or 8 times out of 10, it's like, yeah, and then, like, my Metro's coordinated and, like, crit a bunch of times, and the opponent's thing died. It's like,
look, I think that's a lot of the
power fantasy.
I think, well, it is the power fantasy, but it's been perpetuated by listeners of this podcast. Listening to Julian's very enthusiastic love for a coordinated order Panzerfaust from Metros, and from infiltrating Metros. Zouaves are a pretty cool forward deploying specialists that don't really have they don't have camo, I don't think, but they're quite fun. And chasseurs are probably one of the best infiltrating skirmishes. Light flamethrower and Sixth Sense is a fantastic combination to have. So I think I don't think these profiles see much play. Para commandos do play in Cosmo, but chasseurs certainly don't see much play in vanilla. There are models that they prefer, and Zouaves and Metros definitely don't. So,
I mean, thankfully for the most part, because a lot of the stuff in French that was a lot better recently was the reinforcements update. A lot of that is being moved over into vanilla, so like the things that were pretty good in French are sort of surviving for the most part, other than stuff like Metros, which people just sort of love inconsequentially. Like, you aren't, unlike Caledonia, where you're losing a whole bunch of unique units without sort of a real way to replace a lot of them, you're losing a lot less with French, and you could just choose to be a generic Ariadne player instead, and it's not so much, probably not going to be as good as it was like Ariadne as a whole, but you have options to do pretty much the same thing you were doing, just to a slightly lesser extent.
Yeah, that's reasonable. What should you play instead? So TAC is an obvious choice. The comparisons between Moblos and Vet Kazakhs are, pretty. They're pretty much the same unit. You have access to these great skirmishers, these good forward deployers, lots of camo. Not really what Merovingia was really known for, but you definitely can find out some fun and unique tactics with TAC, and you have some excellent parachutists with TAC as well, with the Spetsnaz. So there's a lot you can do, and this might be out of left field. I think that assassins might be a good place for old French players. Yes, there's the obvious. The link between Delamy and Metros, well, the camouflage infiltrating Metros, at least. Lots of people have been put in their stopped in their tracks by a neg zero camo marker standing up, going, "Hey, I could be a Panzerfaust."
Well, like, I 100% am a Panzerfaust.
There's other things as well. You get some quite unique link team options in assassins that include units like the Asawira, which are not unlike the Moblos, just fucking heaps better. Uh, um, got some great parachutist profiles, got some fantastic impersonators and infiltrators, and there's lots of viral in, which is something that Ariadna is losing with Lugarus as well. Not that Lugarus are completely going away because of reinforcements. However, you're not getting a nice viral sniper, viral marksman rifle being easily accessible. So
Lugaroos are still in generic Ariadna, I believe.
are they?
Oh.
Yeah, well,
I
they
mean-
would be because they were in the they were in reinforcements.
Yeah.
I mean, considering like how high viral stocks are probably going currently, considering the changes to burst to the fire team burst.
Yeah, viral might be something that's the people are look out for. Viral snipers are very good. So if you like viral weapons, if you like the infiltrating Panzerfaust or playstyle, if you like some impersonators and things like that, and some super unique little fire teams, assassins might be the way to go for French players.
I definitely think it's possible for French players to transpose their armies into vanilla now. You could probably buy a couple extra things here and there, like maybe Unknown Ranger or something, if you really want to try your hardest. But it does seem like there's like Apaches and Lugaroos and stuff. You could proxy the Metros as whatever line troop, and you could probably make a decent vanilla Ariadna force out of your French. And it will be some of the best looking vanilla Ariadna out there, because the French models are absolutely top.
Well, I assume Moblo's in generic Ariadna. I haven't seen one.
If they're not on the list, then they are. So the only three French units disappearing from the game will be Metro, Zouaves, and Chasseurs. So Moblos must be in vanilla Ariadna.
Right, there you go. Well, you may lose what I consider one of the best models in Infinity, which is the Moblo Sapper HMG. But best miniature does not equal best profile. So
Absolutely
No,
not.
Josh.
So it'd be interesting. All right,
Oh,
Spiral Core.
Should we just not talk about Spiral Core? Skip over it, like the number of times that you said you were going to play Spiral Core and then never did?
No, I really want to play Spiral
We can like start
Core.
talking about Spiral Core, like play half a game of Spiral Core, and then we can go do something else. Go play some
I have
JSA,
played
maybe.
like 2 games of Spiral Core. Oh, I want to play them so bad.
He's still doing it now.
You've got
He's been
19
doing this
days.
for literally years.
I'm playing on Saturday at James's place, and I'm going to play some Spiral Core. It'll be fun.
Nice.
I get a message from him the night before. It's like, so I'm playing JSA instead.
Spiral Core, we're not really losing anything. Some extra profiles on Tagma schemas, which may just translate across to Toha.
Losing one of those unique game mechanics in Tricore, I guess, but like they kind of gutted it a little bit with the link team changes. So
yeah, not a useful.
Helots is the big one. Helots are the really, really big one.
Well,
That
Hell's not going across to Toha. Yes.
No, fucking thank Christ. Holy shit. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I could imagine, actually. It wouldn't be fun.
Be
So
awful.
Spiral Core, no great loss unless you really, really wanted to play brawlers alongside Toha units.
The great loss is making all the Spiral players now play Toha, which is just worse Spiral in terms of your opponent's play experience.
Yeah.
Well, like every Spiral Core player is just like fucking Rock Lee taking the training weights off. They're like, all right, we're gonna grab the McCool out. Someone's gonna have to deal with this.
Exactly right.
And then like some number of them are gonna go to like Vanilla Pano because they really, really like Helots.
Yeah, I mean, just Pano for Helots if you like them too much, or Tohar to fart on people. Fantastic. Easy.
Problem solved.
This is a big one.
Yeah, oh man. Man, I know a couple of Shock Army players. There has been some fucking doom posting from the Shock Army players going, what do we do now? Yeah, Shock Army of Acontecimento has unfortunately finally hit the chopping block. One of the better Pano sectorials for sure, but especially after the reinforcements update, there was a lot of age showing in Shock Army. Like a lot of their skirmishes were sort of like Nagas and stuff, which have very much fallen behind the curve for like what you would sort of expect out of N4. But at the end of the day, it was still like one of the most popular sectorials in the game, like one of the most rock solid link teams in the entire game, with that regular fire team with the Sapper Sniper and the regular hacker, which was I would call it an all-star in vanilla Pano as well, but
100%.
it is a exceptional profile. The Dragao as well, being probably the most cost-effective tag in the game, is a BS15 HRMC for 73 points, I think it was, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that, though.
We don't talk about the Dragao.
No, losing some of the cool stuff as well. Bargmari were a very cool BS13. Mimetism and MSV1 option that people would take. Losing Pano's only smoke in the Garuda de Salto, which I think I saw taken once, maybe, and the tagline for that was, I wanted to play a Garuda, and that's the only reason it's in the list.
Oh, a Garda de Assalto, you mean? Yeah, not a Garuda.
Oh, Garda de Salto.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you...
BS10 smoke, let's go.
Yeah, good luck, man. You know what? You want to roll that 50-50? That's on you, bro. Like, absolutely go nuts.
Now Pano can legitimately...
Smoke Eclipse?
It's Eclipse.
Yeah.
Now Pano can legitimately complain it has no smoke.
They can. They absolutely can. But hope is not lost for Shock Army players. Because it seems like a lot of regulars and the Tikbalang, they took off their Shock Army uniforms and instead put on desert fatigues and cool hats. And became Fennec Fusiliers and other such units in the Kestrel Colonial Force. Because there are a lot of points of comparison to be drawn between the two. There's a Fennec Fusilier profile that is the same points cost as the regular, and it just doesn't have the grenade launcher, so it's only 0.5 Swick instead of the full 1 Swick, like the regular hacker was. Still has the Fast Panda, which is great. You've got Tikbalangs. Tikbalangs are awesome. You can duo Tikbalangs, and you can duo Tikbalangs and get the fucking bonus to burst. Like, that's more of a reason than any... Look, I am happy that Shock Army... I will happily trade Shock Army of Acontecimento for burst 4.5 Tikbalangs. Really? I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but...
Kinda.
It's Pano. You can find other... It's like, oh no, I need to find a new flavor of BS15.
Interestingly, so they lose a grenade launcher, they gain an emitter.
Yep.
They lose combi rifles and they gain a submachine gun. So I think actually the Fennec hacker is actually overpriced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it should be probably 2 points cheaper.
Unless emitters are just that valuable?
No, emitters, no way.
Is an Which one is that? Is that the 8 to 16 or is it the...
It's the contender range bands.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure then. That's a weird one. Well, again...
Yeah, it should be... I mean, I would... Reasonably, I could think that that's 2 points cheaper.
Guessing it's because of the fire team changes, maybe, that line troops are going to have different costs?
Potentially. The missile launchers have gone up in price, apparently. I like the fact that unless hacking devices have become more expensive as well,
true.
I like these guys getting the Kappa treatment of having trading out the submachine the Colmy rifle for the submachine gun to make them a little bit cheaper. The Kappa hacker, for example. Yeah, very cool. But yes, very sad that. Well, I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
You're losing a sapper sniper, but you're gaining a black air. So
Yeah, Pano. Look, I'm playing Pano now. Pano was way too bloated. Like 6 sectorals was way too fucking many.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like
Banshees are very good. They're probably better than Akali's.
100%.
Yamabushi are exceptional.
And Griffins are basically souped up bag marine. They just don't have the
The meme.
they just have the
They do
mimetism,
have-
but they
Did you have them in? Oh no, the black. I'm thinking the black.
have
Yeah.
they have MSV.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. No, the Griff. Yeah, but they're 2 wounds instead of the 1 wound.
Yeah, you're also paying a bunch more for them.
Yeah, but they count as Fennec, so
they do.
How much of a loss is
Yes.
losing all of the Aleph profiles throughout the sectorials?
huge.
Huge.
Yeah, big
Still,
time.
like Scylla was very, very, very good. Like the Evo profile was like probably pretty undertaken on her. Being able to like soup up a TR bot and not have to take an S4 silhouette was pretty good. And even then, if you just took like the regular hacking device with the Trinity upgrade, she was just one of the best defensive hackers out there. Like, is having the ECM and also being able to do firewall with either your pitches or with the robot that you drag around. Just
Yep.
really good all round. I'm an absolute Scylla diehard, and I'm very sad to see that she's gone from Vanilla Aleph as well. I'm genuinely like pretty torn up over it. Like I hope she survived.
She wasn't in generic. She's not. Oh, Vanilla Aleph, right? Yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
She wasn't in generic Pano.
No, God, no. I would have done terrible, terrible things if she was in generic Pano.
You know, we're missing. I mean, obviously, having Scylla as some forward hacking projection, considering that Shock Army has actually quite good hacking projection. With they have midfield hackers in Nagas, they have peacemakers, they have the fast pandas, and they have Scylla as with a pitcher. I think it's a big loss for Panos sectorials not to have the Aleph profiles, but Aleph got pretty fucking gutted anyway, so they can suck a fuck.
Well, yeah, while KFC, it's not like a perfect like replacement for like Shock Army. The bones there you'll find pretty attractive if you are a Shock Army player. I would probably put money on that, honestly, unless you were like the Dragal's strongest soldier, in which case, I'm sorry, go play Nomads. They have a Salamandra.
Yeah.
Like, or go play O12, play a Zeta instead. HRMC's tags are just sort of like
Few and far between now, yeah.
They're few and far between now. Like, you can't play Vanilla Combined anymore if you want to play a HRMC. Oh, no, you can because the Overdron's still there. You can't play Vanilla Combined if you want to play a good HRMC tag.
A BS14 HRMC. Has to be 13.
Yeah, it has to be 13.
Yeah, and keeping on that note, I think Kestrel has so many profiles we haven't seen. They might fill in the slots of what's disappearing with Shock Army.
Honestly, I trade a lot in a Pano sectorial for having like good close assault, and the Yamabushi is like good close assault. So like, the rest of Kestrel needs to be like very not good for me to be not super high on the sectorial as a whole. And I can't imagine they'll fudge the release of a sectorial that hard. It's like nearly impossible for me to really think CB would manage that because they've been so good up until recently.
Yeah, they're very good. They're good at building new things.
Yeah.
Varuna.
Varuna.
Varuna. I find these quite interesting, actually, that the 3 missing units disappearing from the game are Kamau, Echo Bravos, and maybe Uma Sorensen? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about her. She's disappearing in all the factions she's in, and she's not in Vanilla.
Kestrel.
And Kestrel, but she's a relatively new model, so she might get thrown somewhere else.
Maybe.
That's why I've thrown a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
But I think losing Kamau is pretty big. I love Kamau. They're so good.
Yeah, it's they definitely weren't as good as they were like before the Link Team update, but
Yeah.
like one of my favorite like luxury picks in Vanilla Pano was just taking a Kamau HMG, like BS13 MIM3 HMG. It's sort of hard to go wrong with that, honestly.
And they're sub 30 points as well, aren't they? They're like
28,
yeah.
I think. Honestly, they might,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. But if you are, a Varuna player who's kind of sad, generic Pano has a lot of the tools that Varuna did have. You're just losing Kamau, basically, is the main thing you can no longer really access. Like, you have Zulu Cobras, the Hellots exist in Vanilla Pano as well. You just sort of need to use them in a different way because you have less availability. Well, currently you have less availability on them, and I'd be very surprised if the availability on those two things sort of went up with N5, because AVA 2 Hellots in Vanilla Pano would be very, very good.
Winter 4 might be a decent trade-off as
Winter 4
well.
too.
You're trading in Cutter and Kamau for Yotam and Kahu, but they're reasonable trades. I think depends on what you want out of.
Yeah, it's hard just because the Cutter is such a safe lieutenant option is the big thing.
So is the Yotam. I'm a 10.
Well, whip 12 though.
It's I'm a 10, BTS 9. I don't like it. Well, who cares? It's whip 12. I think that it's a reasonable trade. You're losing some of the defensive, like if you like Varuna for its defensive capability, then yeah, I think that you probably playing Infinity wrong.
Infinity's never punching really hard. Why are you not punching really hard?
But Winter 4 have a bunch of things like you've got the Boigs, you've got Lian Kai. Like it's like I think Winter 4 might be just better. Than
like
Varuna.
I've heard some rumblings about Winter 4 apparently getting very, very like there's like you're wanting to take things in new Winter 4 that like you weren't wanting to take at all before. So those are just rumblings I've heard from unconfirmed sources, but if that holds true, it puts me in a very good place in terms of the updates that other factions are going to receive as well. If units like Borgs are going to want to be taken, it's like, well, if they've made Borgs good, I think they're going to make a whole lot of other stuff really good too.
NIS are reasonably good to come out as well. They are a bit more expensive, but it's still good.
Yeah, still definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Do we know does Vanilla currently get the stealth option of Orcs?
I can have a look.
Because if Vanilla maintains the stealthy Orcs, I think that's a point in their favor.
We're waiting for confirmation.
Yes, they have the Varuna division, but it's only the foyer back.
Whatever.
No, they've got the boarding shotgun with Timber as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
Little Orc duo in Vanilla that has stealth sounds pretty spicy to me.
Mm-hmm. Good do.
I'm so excited for duos.
This is one I'm actually genuinely sad about.
Same, honestly.
Neoterran Capital and Army.
There's one person who plays NCA.
Yeah, but he's like the most passionate Infinity player in the fucking world.
Trent's like stage 3 of 7 of the coping mechanisms right now.
For our US listeners, that's Antipodean Bolt. Is the one NCA player in the world. So
NCA's strongest soldier.
He's also the loudest. Very sad. Yeah, Auxilia going. They're probably some of Pano's best corner guards.
One of their best specialists too, with that forward observer.
Yeah, forward observer is good. It's a pretty good lieutenant option as well. It's they're reasonable things. Hexes. I don't think anyone really misses hexes. No. Going to really miss hexes. But they're part of. They were a cool model. Hexes are a cool model, so you can definitely do something with your.
I think if they were kept, they might have been a really good option for N5, just being a Pano hidden deploy multi sniper. But yeah, then they're gone.
No, they're gone. The Ulan, the coolest tag, is unfortunately also gone.
Yes.
I think it's sad losing unique tags like the Ulan. Like, camo tags are so few and far between. Like, it makes me really sad that we're like losing one of like the few
They're both
camo
in.
tag options.
Yeah, well, that's true. You know, 2 of them are in Pano, so the only all also very cool sculpt. So, yeah, you can't get it. It's impossible to get, but you know, befriend a
No.
recaster.
I think the last time I saw that box for sale, it was like $200 or something. It was ridiculous.
It's because it has the Ulan and the
Yeah,
Tekken.
the Tech Balang, yeah.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Yeah, look, if you're gonna play, if you currently play NCA and you want to play something instead, a different war game is perfectly reasonable. Go play 40k.
You're just
Look,
being mean to Trent now.
I am, yeah. Look, KCF is fine.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know.
I don't think it particularly affects him because all he's talked about is KC. Like CB were like, oh, you lose Neoterra, but here's KCF, and Trent was like, ooh,
Ooh, I like
ooh.
KFC. Wait, did somebody say KFC? Or yeah, right, or vanilla, maybe.
You have plenty of options. The good thing about like Pano specifically is that with getting a new sectoral, you can see that CB have very clearly tried to like gear it towards weaning the players of those other factions onto KCF as this kind of united, like, here's the new Pano sectoral. Hopefully, like, casting this net is going to drag in most of the Pano players who might be a little disenfranchised by losing their sectoral. And then the rest of them you can hopefully capture with, like, either vanilla or with the updates to the other 2 remaining sectorals. Because, like, military orders, that box was, like, that was the most popular action pack ever, right? I think
it was between that and JSA, yeah.
Yeah, like, there's so many military orders action packs out there. Like, I'm sure the people who own them would love for military orders to be, like, as good as they were probably promised they'd be.
God damn that Swiss Guard model.
I'm gonna get one of those, because if hidden deployment is getting cheaper, I kind of want to.
I am kind of sad we're losing pure bolt cores.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they'll only be able to harass in vanilla.
In vanilla, yeah. And like we're losing, we're spoiler alert, they're getting rid of foreign company as well, which was the only other place to get pure bolt cores. So
one of those few like true fuck you calls that were really left in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you'll either have to play Dakinis or like a Grenza.
Yeah. Well, the Grenza's honestly pretty hard as well because that core was so frequently like one of those like link soup type of cores.
Yeah, it won't get 6 cents.
Yeah,
at most it'll be BS17 without 6
I don't
cents.
think can you pure core a Grenza currently in TJC?
No, you can't.
I think so because I think there is a Grenza fire.
You can do 5 Grenzas if you want to be if you want to be crazy, I think. But
yeah,
like
you can't do no Grenzas are you can do 5 Grenzas, yeah.
Oh, sorry, cheer killers, 4 cheer killers and a Grenza, or just 5 Grenzas. That's pure.
No, you can't do 4 cheer killers. They're not. That's not pure.
No, it's not pure. No.
But the Spectre FDO is a Grenza, counts as a Grenza, so I don't know if that makes it any cheaper.
It doesn't.
I don't know what the Spectre is.
It's Raoul.
Oh, Raoul Spectre, right.
Rahul?
No, you can do...
No, it's not. Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, yeah. It is. It is Rahul Spectre.
But yeah, guys, if you want to drop 150 points on 5 wounds to get BS19, go for it.
Yeah.
In N4 anyway.
Yeah, currently.
In N5, it will 100% not be worth it.
I do like the move away from like the fuck you core. Like bolts were one of those like the sort of the last bastion of that like real
the real fuck you core.
But is it gonna like such a big draw of Infinity is the ARO mechanic, and you know depowering AROs is taking away power from AROs is potentially not like the best option. But I guess they're kind of taking away power from from fire teams in general,
Mhm.
with like the loss of
I think it's
the
just
full extra burst.
I think it's more a shift of the power of AROs more than a decrease. Like a straight up decrease.
It's
Like
being able
yeah.
to field those duos where they're all getting the 0.5 additional burst essentially.
Yeah,
Like,
unlimited duo AROs is actually quite cool, huh?
Mm.
Like yeah, you could definitely field like more ARO now than you probably could before. I'm okay with like the really high quality ARO pieces declining in quality a bit with like losing 2BS from like link team changes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely an element of certain things being a little not too oppressive, but just very, very unfun to try and fight against.
So long as certain active turn pieces are also toned down at the same time.
Limited cover on tags. I'm calling it.
If combined army just straight up gets Achilles V2, I might be a little sad.
Yeah.
Potentially it might be harder now to deal with impersonators because you're not getting two proper, like you're not getting two templates, or you're only throwing 2 dice and only one's going to hit. So it's kind of up in the air whether they're going to live or not. I think it's going to force people to relearn to defend. You might want to take 3 or 4 models that can throw 2 dice in ARO instead of one big one.
Well, I think like the Black AIR is a pretty good example of potentially where the strength in fire teams, if you want that ARO, is moving towards. Is like, if you want that, you only are going to have it in ARO. Like, you're not going to have that active turn gun. You're like, no, I'm committing to having this as an ARO piece, which I think is a fair trade-off.
If TR bots were 5 points cheaper and I had neurosynetics only,
I'd take it.
Oof. Yeah, I'd take that.
You know, most of the time, most of the time, unless it's a CA TR bot, you're not really shooting at it in the active turn.
I don't know what the points difference between neurosynetics. I guess it wouldn't be that much because the Chax Auxiliaire neurosynetics is still 24 points.
That's got the bloat tax.
For what, CC attack plus 1 damage?
Yep.
And curry.
Yep. That's probably 2 points right there.
So bloated. It's got CC. They got CC 19 as well.
Yeah, there you go. That's an extra 2 points there as well.
That CC 19 once crit against.
You said that like sarcastically.
That was the greatest game of Infinity I've ever watched.
Is it Callum's bear? He throws smoke on my Jaxa, and then runs into CC and I crit on 19s. Oh, so good.
It was so funny because I think it has 3 wounds and he's committing to fighting you in CC instead of dropping some templates. And then you survived 2 rolls, I think.
Yeah,
it was fucking ridiculous.
Fucking crapshoot fighting bears.
That was a very sad bear.
Well, even 1 or 2 points, I probably would be happy taking. However, total reaction is so
synonymous.
Well, it's flexible as well. You know, I know Kevin is a very good user of total react, the TR bots inactive. And you know, it's nice to just be able to switch them up.
I've definitely done it in CA, but I don't know if it counts.
If you're taking if you're doing the whole Evo Hacker TR bot package, then you know, probably being able to use it in active is pretty good. It might just take down actually, maybe if they had 2 profiles, a total reaction and neurosynetics profile, it might be interesting. But yeah, it definitely shifting the focus into single or duo based AROs is potentially going to be
I do think it's sad to lose them, especially after they went through the trouble of like re-releasing so much stuff for Neoterra. Like, for a while, almost the entire faction was like out of production, but like in the last year of N4, they like reprinted a bunch of stuff with like the bolts and everything, and then added in like really good new stuff like the blade, and
adding in the really good Swiss Guard CC +9.
Oh, that didn't actually get added into any of the fucking factions after the reinforcements as well. I'm so sad.
I know,
about
it's
that.
very sad.
NCA feels like quintessential Pano to me.
It's so Pano.
Yeah.
Because
That
you've
does
got like
make
your
me a bit
future
sad.
Linkies, it's like your generic Link option, and then you've got like your expensive fuck you Link with the blade with the bolt. Like you have good tags, you've got like a mix of like your S6 and S7, and then you've also got like the blade as well, who can duo with a bunch of them, and the blade was super exceptional. Thankfully, he's still in vanilla, so hopefully the blade duos do survive.
Hmm. They just thematically had like one of the best things.
Yeah.
Like I have MSV3, I have a HI with Mim Meg 6 hidden deploy and a missile launcher, and it was great.
I am definitely gonna pick up one of those Swiss Guard, though I'm gonna make it way more generic because I'm cutting the sword off.
Oh no.
Well,
That's-
no,
You gotta have
well,
the
no,
sword.
I don't like the way it looks with him holding it, so I'm gonna like cut it off and stick it into like either the base behind him or in front of him to make it look like
Okay.
he's planted it in the ground and then he's holding the gun over his arm.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's also got almost a hacker hand, so
Yeah, he's got like a hacker hand. Like I don't know if
You
I
could-
feel like
you
being
could find
really
another hand.
fancy,
Yeah.
I could like green stuff a finger pointing potentially as well to make it look like he's like
You
pointing
could,
at something.
you could probably find another Pano HI with a pointy hand.
Oh, probably. I just asked Trent. It's like, hey Trent, I need a Pano HI with a
pointy
right
hand.
hand that is pointing.
And
What
he
you
goes,
got?
and his silly Pano brain goes, "Oh, it's this."
Yeah, thanks, Trent.
Was there there is a Swiss Guard hacker? Was there a Swiss Guard hacker profile?
There's not a model for it, I don't believe.
I wouldn't
Model?
even,
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need like the whole arm either. You just like cut the hand off.
If there was, it's the really old like N2 N1 one.
Yeah, there's only a Swiss Guard missile and a Swiss Guard HMG and a Swiss Guard multi-rifle.
Oh, we've gotten so sidetracked.
The
This stuff.
Swiss Guard
This is
missile
important.
sick.
This is deeply important. I'm
This
loving
is very
this.
important. Guys, send your suggestions about what to make the Swiss Guard's right arm. To loss of lieutenant at
I will
gmail.com.
let the patrons decide what my Swiss Guard's right arm is going to be.
It should be the Swiss Guard missile launcher. You should have the HMG sticking up on one side, and you should have the missile launcher
on the
sticking
other side.
So, unironically, Dan Brown in Geelong has a Swiss Guard where it's just two HMGs like this.
Dope.
Rambo Swiss Guard. All right,
It
guys.
was fucking sick.
Dope.
Let's move on. Foreign company.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Cool stuff.
Oh man.
Does anyone have anything good to say about foreign company?
Oh, they're fun.
They're fun.
They're fun. I've played against them a couple of
paper.
times. Yeah.
On paper, they read a lot like White Company, where it's like, this sounds insane. Like, when you read White Company, it's like, oh, it's Pano with good hacking and smoke. It's like, what the fuck? Then you go like a little deeper and like the cracks sort of start appearing. And then you see Foreign Company, it's like, oh, you have like pure bolt cores and Uberfall commando. And you're like, what the fuck? And then you sort of, again, you look a little closer and some of the cracks are sort of definitely there. But I know we had, wasn't one of like the Henry brothers' friends like a super dedicated Foreign Company player?
Lachlan plays Foreign Company. He played at CanCon last year.
All I remember is
Danny
Danny.
played Foreign Company. Yeah.
Danny came dead last, but one painting.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
The
Who
problem
would have
is
guessed?
the problem is the draw of Foreign Company is very much located in its A team characters, which are Senior Massacre Valkyrie, Hannibal, and Lashmi.
Laxmi, Lashmi.
And
They're not very good.
they're not very good.
Valkyrie's all right.
Unfortunately.
I think Valkyrie's like a side grade to Hippie.
Well, look, to be honest, the best profile is Senior Massacre.
Yeah, 100%. But then
Yeah,
you
so to say,
just
Senior
play
Massacre
Corregidor.
has like some dedicated fans, right? Like
Oh, he's
a-
so good. He's
Senior
disgusting.
Massacre, he was the first natural born warrior.
'cause he's like Deadpool, right? That's the whole thing.
He's Deadpool, yeah. He's got
Yeah,
regen.
he's just Deadpool.
Yeah, he's Deadpool. By a reason, like Senior Massacre is great. And you can play him in Corregidor.
You can, and hopefully, and I think they did say the Corregidor was, getting at least a bit of an update. So hopefully, they feel a little bit better to play at Ed 5 than what they probably do now.
Yeah.
There will probably be a law reason as to maybe why Foreign Company has kind of gone off the charts a little bit. So maybe someone's bought them, and that
Yeah.
whatever faction that buys them is kind of going to get them.
So I'm just looking at this now. Jesus Christ, Valkyrie is fucking enormous. She's so tall.
Well, that's the Aristea model, so
Yeah.
Oh,
a
okay.
bit different. Yeah. Yeah. Another sectorial, another NAE2 that gets orcs that never uses them. I think, yeah, Foreign Company are just one of those sort of like niche picks that people play for challenge factions. They are like, I mean, I think they've won an IGL.
They won Adepticon last year as well.
They won Adepticon last year. That might be what I'm thinking of. They do reasonably well, and they've got a good mix of units. They've just kind of got like not quite the best units of their parent factions, and so I think you're just missing out a little bit. If you want to play Foreign Company, I don't know, just play Nomads, I guess.
Honestly, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Nomads, or maybe TJC or Corregidor if you specifically want to play. So Tunguska or Corregidor if you specifically want to play Senior Massacre, or Grenzers are close enough to bolts if you love bolts that you can.
Grenzers do a very good cosplay of a bolt.
They do go great cosplay of a bolt. And you get who's got Sin Eaters? They're Bakunin, aren't they?
Yeah, so Bakunin's the other half. If you're more focused on Uber Falls and Zeros and stuff, it's going to be Bakunin.
Yeah, I think it's just I think TJC has like the character focus.
Yeah.
You got the Grenzers as well. Not that you're taking anything but the multi-sniper and the Grenzer.
Yeah, or Tunguska for Krieger Borax as well. So, yeah, TJC. Yeah.
But if you do just want to like step on someone's neck, Bakunin are a great option.
Bakunin are a great option. If you're more trying to fill the narrative side of your head, I guess you gotta find some other, like maybe Ikari or something like that. Another kind of NA2 faction that has a lot of flavor in it.
I'd be keen to see what the Ikari, if Ikari gets updated with the JSA update. So,
how many toys did they get?
The JSA update.
The JSA update. Yeah.
I mean, they're becoming a faction on their own. I think it is allowed to be called an update.
I'll accept. We can call N5 is the JSA update.
It is.
Starco. I know someone who's very sad about this.
Moment of silence for former host of the podcast, Kevin.
More bagpipes.
All right, yeah, fuck Starco. Bye.
No, come on. Starco is actually legit a super narrative and flavorful faction, and I really love it.
Yeah.
The only thing disappearing is Emily, maybe, if she doesn't move to another faction, and she's dog shit, so
they had a great mix of nomad units that you
want to take.
That you want to take, man. Like having both Riot Girls and MOBA Regatta in the same sectorial are like insane. Like MOBA Regatta are fucking great.
I mean, they're fine. Like they're just like the super generic heavy infantry, right? Like they just look really good.
They're just I think like Jujaks, they're relatively cheap, and they've got the multi-rifle light flamethrower is such a sick like profile with Timbot -6 as well.
It's a nice combination of a nice combination of bits.
Armor 5, like they're better than generic heavy infantry.
Fair enough.
So yeah, MOBA Regatta are great. They're well priced. Yeah, they're tanky. Yeah, I really like them.
It's the only faction in the game that gets. Oh, sorry, it's one of two of the only faction in the game that gets burst 4 now. The other being French.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only other thing I can say about it is it's probably, I would call it the drop troop faction.
Yes, absolutely.
You get Raoul and you get Hellcats, which are both really good.
Yep. So I guess just play Corregidor for Mobile Regatta or
And Hellcats.
BJC for Riot Girls.
Thankfully, if you don't care too much about what you use your mobile regatta as, they proxy exceptionally well too because of how cool they look.
They do.
I'm
They do
thinking
look very cool.
some of these models have to go into the other NA2 armies because we haven't seen Nauf in any vanilla armies yet. And I don't think they get rid of Nauf.
Nauf is like their boy. I can't imagine they're going to get rid
Yeah.
of Nauf.
You don't get rid of
Have
a
we
comic
not
book
seen
character.
Nauf?
Have
Have we not seen Nauf in a vanilla?
I don't think so. I think most vanillas don't have any any mercenary
We have
characters.
seen Nauf though, right?
Haven't we?
Maybe not.
I'm shooting in the dark, but
Yeah, I mean, I can't see any.
like
The only ones that are in the news thing are
I do have the book.
O12 and you have the book.
I do have
That's
the
right.
book. If he's not in O12, he's probably not in any vanilla because O12 has retained some mercenaries.
He's not in Nomads. Nomads gets Jazz and Billy, Mary Problems, Stone Pyrewell, Fiddler, Wolfgang, and Perseus.
He's not in O12. I don't
He's
think
not
he's in
in
any
O12.
vanillas. So he must be moving. I cannot imagine they get rid of Nauf.
Odd.
That's all right, guys.
Yeah,
It means
I really don't think they'd get rid of Nauf.
Ooh, vanilla O12 generics getting Nimrods. That's fun.
they have Nimrods now, my guy.
Do they?
They
Oh,
do.
well, it doesn't matter. I'm selling my
You're selling your torchlight.
selling my torchlight anyway because I'm hard on JSA, baby.
But you've always been like JSA's like strongest soldier.
Yeah, not really, but certainly it's most dedicated. Cool.
Definitely not a fair weather fan.
No, I love JSA.
Hell yeah.
JSA's excellent.
What a retrospective. Like, man, that is so many factions though. Wow.
It is
I did not
factions?
I did not expect them to cut so
7?
many.
8.
Yeah. Well, 8 dropped 4 gained, 3 gained.
Yeah, Oban's kind of already there.
Yeah, you got JSA,
Shinden Butai, KFC.
Oban, and KFC. So 4, 3 gained. Oban is basically JSA as it is now. Theoretically, I don't think we actually know. But that's
I think it's been said a bunch of times that it is essentially what they're supposed to be. Is just current JSA is now this sectoral.
And
then
now it's just we wait for 20 more days.
Oh yeah, like 3 weeks. It could be a lot worse. 3 weeks isn't a terrible amount of time to wait.
No, not at all. Not at all. CB keep releasing some hype train stuff. We want to talk. We want things to talk about.
Hell yeah.
Well, the Aleph video has got everyone in uproar, and I can't imagine what the Haqqislam video is going to be like. So, good luck to anyone who plays Haqqislam. I'm very sorry to anyone who plays Aleph.
I mean, I don't play Aleph anymore. Even I was fucking hurt by it.
Nauf is an Aleph.
Is he?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Sigh of relief.
And Samsa as well.
Nauf is the new Atalanta.
And Samsa hasn't been featured in any other faction so far.
No, not in JSA.
Not in JSA. Well, there might be. I don't know. Not in JSA Vanilla, I don't think. Oh no, he probably is in JSA Vanilla, but I can't see it.
Well, we haven't seen JSA Vanilla yet.
No, we haven't.
Haven't we?
No.
Well,
I think we have. If you've got the,
we have if someone's done a naughty.
Yeah, people have been posting
naughty.
of the books.
No.
Not in there.
Not in JSA Vanilla. I'm looking. I can't see it.
Where is the um?
Not
Need to
in
find the-
Shinden Butai.
I need to have a look at this. Well, that sucks. It's probably an Oban.
Hopefully, you're a big fan of the old Samsa.
This is great. Best
Yeah, it is.
Best gunfighter in JSA.
best counter in JSA.
Is that the only one Samson's in? Samson's in a bunch of vanillas, isn't he?
He's in every vanilla except for currently. He's in every generic except for CA.
Because he doesn't like CA.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, because he like specifically he's from the old extra, which got booted from CA. So yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, he might be something to play in LF.
maybe,
And we
honestly.
need to see what K2 auxiliaries are.
I kind of like your interpretation where like the Beast Hunter is potentially just getting renamed in a bunch of factions.
Yeah, I mean, I
But who
can't see
knows?
anything that it could be in, unless they're the magistrates. No, I doubt
No,
they're the
I'm
magistrates.
potentially certain mercenaries are going to become faction focused
Yeah,
just to reduce the amount of crossover between factions.
I can't see what could be. Oh, the Red Eye. No, they're the air support.
Yeah.
I don't think. Doesn't look like there's one in Pano, as in a potential Beast Hunter change. Who
We'll
cares?
say there's still like tons of time. Like it's
Who cares?
like
Like
none
Jing
like
doesn't
none
get
of
monks. Did Jings get monks? Oh, there's Gudan troops, which could be in, or the Yinshi unit, which could be the Yujing Beast Hunter. God, Ariadne's getting a pretty decent update, which is pretty cool.
yeah, they are. There are definitely some generic factions that have made out a lot better than others on paper currently.
Yeah. It doesn't look like there's one in Ariadne. Just as a quick look, unless the Barsuk Territorial Defense Regiment is one. That looks new. I might have to have a quick. I might have to download this onto some things and have a cheeky read of this, because I haven't. Look at me getting things early and not not reading it. Silly me.
Yes, we can't all doom and gloom about the vanillas until we see the fire teams, though. So,
Yeah, you can't do. Yeah, literally can't until we see like fire teams and also the
So what's the theory that they're adding in one Haris and duo and limited duos for
yeah, a limited Haris option and then duos still.
yeah, whether or not it's going to be unlimited duos or capped at 2 or something, not sure.
yeah, there was limited duos already in. There's two, right?
I think so, yeah.
But with powers shifting into duos, like pure duos, you might even just see that being the only change that occurs in for vanilla, is that the powers shifting into pure duos, and they don't actually need to go further.
Well, yeah, pure Harrises are only, +3 whip to discover and a +1 fizz. But, depending, yeah. I mean, it seems like they're not going to hold back chucking stuff in link teams if you can, like, take black airs in pure cores. So there's still going to be...
I mean, that's just Pano. I don't think that
Yeah.
the Shinabutai fire team chart isn't nearly
No,
as exciting. Unless the Seiyo fire teams are
There are
and the
a couple good ones. You
the
get
Bushy Tie fire teams are pretty good. Like Hatamoto being full.
Hatamoto duos are great, and Rushi pure Harrises. I think, what is it? You're discovering with marksmanship. You're discovering on 16s up to 32, something like that,
I don't think marksmanship applies to Discover.
doesn't it?
No, marksmanship requires you to perform a BS attack.
Is Discover not a base attack, or is it a move? It's a movement skill, isn't it?
Movement skill.
Okay.
There is, I think, I'm fairly certain Discover says, I'm fairly certain marksmanship has in the requirements do a BS attack. Discover says applies mods from BS attack, which means that if you're doing a ballistic skill attack, if you're doing Discover shoot, then you'll be able to apply the marksmanship to Discover because you are satisfying the requirements by performing a ballistic skill attack.
Yep.
That's the current interpretation, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
We'll see. Duo Mechazoid might be fun.
Duo tags is going to be weird early beginnings of N5.
Well, the fact that there's a Mechazoid fire team that doesn't say FTO there is telling me that there aren't no camo Mechazoid, which is so sad. So sad. Cool. Well, I think that's about it for our homage to the dead fire teams, or the lost fire teams of the lost sectorials of N5. We'll have to pour one out for the
Many
two
of them will be missed.
At least one.
At least one.
At least one by one person will be missed.
Some definitely much more than others.
So, thank you for listening. We've very much enjoyed bringing this one to you. I've been Josh.
I've been Tristan.
I've been Jordan.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.